somebody's got to shake out of this lineup, man. And 2019, we're cognizant of 2019. We're cognizant that we have a youth movement going on, so we got to make some moves for the young guys. So we're going to look to ship out Courtney Lee. I thought he's been a good investment since he's been here. But, you know, obviously it's time. So our esteemed guest, Jonathan Macri, broke down a couple of trade options for Courtney Lee. So, Jonathan, we're going to kick it off to you for option number one that you were thinking.
Yeah, and I mean, these all kind of fall into the same category because you got to look for a trade for an expiring contract.
Yeah.
And B, it has to be a team that does not think they're going to be a player in the summer of 2016 or summer of 2019, excuse me, because obviously his contract is 2 years. But C, it also has to be a team that's looking to win now. And there's not that many teams out there that qualify, you know, and could send a player back under those. So my favorite one is send him to Memphis for JaMychal Green and Ben McLemore. In this scenario, I think the Knicks would cut McLemore. They would waive McLemore.
He's had a disappointing season. I mean, career so far, man. I think he left. He probably left a little too early.
What happened?
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, I like that trade because they apparently still love him in Memphis. They could use some more shooting on that team. I don't believe that, especially now that they've lost Tyreke Evans to Indiana, they really have a hole at the guard spot. I don't know if they want to run back out the lesser light options that they were doing at the shooting guard position last year. And also JaMychal Green kind of learned his craft under Fizz. And I think he's the kind of guy that, and you know, and hey, we have a glaring hole at the four. I'm sure they're going to play Knox up a position. I'm sure they're going to play Mario Hezonja up a position here and there. I'm sure they're going to, you know, give Lance a little bit of run. But there's no one on this team who you look at and be like, okay, that is an ideal starting four. So I like that trade. I don't know if Memphis would do it, obviously, but they're capped out next summer anyway, and they're clearly looking to win this year. So I think it works out for both sides. It's just a matter of, do they want to give up JaMychal Green, a guy on an expiring contract? You never know.
I'm for it, man. Any move right now to move Courtney Lee to free up some time for my guy Dotson, I'm all for it. I want to see my guy Dot get some shine with his defensive abilities, an assassin. I want to see him get some burn, for real. And even Alonzo, I'm kind of curious to see what he's gonna do. I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'd be on board with it, especially JaMychal Green. As Jay Macri alluded to, could be the power forward that we could slot right in. Averaged 10 points, 8 rebounds last year, 50% effective field goal shooting. You know, that's pretty decent. And you know, for some backup minutes, we could definitely use a guy like that. And as Jay Macri alluded to, he played under Fizdale, so he's already familiar with the style of play. 6'9", 227 pounds. I mean, that could be the replacement for KO that we're looking for, right?
Yeah. And there's some value in bringing in a guy to a team that already knows the coach's system, because, you know, you might look at him and say, well, he's not going to be here long term because his cap hold is going to be kind of high and they're not going to resign him after this year. But at the same time, you want to create an environment where the other players get the most out of their time on the court. And if they could spend some time playing with a guy who already knows the system very well, I think that could only help. So I like that deal. If you could get Memphis to throw in a second-round pick, I mean, all the better. I tend to think that they probably wouldn't, but you never know. Next one would be kind of a straight salary dump. Trade him to Sacramento for Iman Shumpert. They make about the same amount of money.
Shump, the return of Shumpert.
The return of
Shumpert.
I think Shump would be here for about a cab ride before they
ship his ass back to Chicago.
No, they would waive Shump, clear up a roster spot. Again, you'd be hoping to try to get a second round pick out of Sacramento in a trade like this. Would be ideal. But yeah, I think that could work again, just to get rid of his contract for next year.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Why not? You know?
Yeah.
Man, what happened to Shumpert, man?
It's injuries, man. That's my thing.
You think it was you think it was that AC when he took that ACL down in was it Miami? I remember.
Not even just that. Just his career in general. I feel like every time Shump got into a rhythm, he got injured. every single time.
I'll
And it's
never
surreal.
forget watching Game 6 in Indiana,
Yeah.
you know, second round of playoffs when he was, I forget if he was a rookie or it was his second year, but he was hitting those threes in that run they made.
Yeah, him and Melo were going off.
Yeah,
Melo
I was
was
like,
going off, man.
Listen, that's the most exciting moment Knicks fans have arguably had in the last decade.
Yeah.
Sanity, KP stuff last season, but yeah, no, I loved Shump.
Jeez, man.
I was dead wrong on him as were a lot of people. So
word,
Yeah.
he invented the Knicks tape, man.
Salute to Shump, man. But hey, we'll take that if it means getting rid of Lee and those 2 years. I'll bring back Shump and waive him real quick.
I think we got the Utah trade that I came up with. Again, this is straight salary dump. Traded Utah for Alec Burks.
Okay.
Burks kind of really hasn't worked out as a player. He's an expiring contract. You know what? Burks is a guy I could see them consider keeping. I don't know that Utah would want to commit all that salary to next year. I mean, this is not a team that is a traditional player in the free agent market. I think Courtney Lee is the type of guy that you put him under a coach like Quinn Snyder. I think Quinn Snyder would really value some of the things that he brings to the table.
He'd be good for them, a playoff team. He'd be a solid piece.
Valuable minutes. And hey, if you're Utah this year, why not see, you know, I mean, look, are you going to beat Golden State? No, but for an organization like Utah, there's real value in making it to the second round of the playoffs, making, you know, who knows?
Yeah.
Could they give Houston a run for their money this year? I doubt it, but you never know. I mean, I don't think it's insane to think that they could.
I thought Burks had some potential when he came in. He had a couple of good years for Utah. Obviously,
he gave him that contract, the 4 for 40, I think it was.
Obviously, burnt the Knicks over the years, but who hasn't? You know, these guys. That's always when you see him when they hit that West Coast trip, man. He like, this guy's pretty good, man. He's pretty good.
I mean, he would fit in with Trey Burke, who burnt us as well.
They were teammates
when he was with
teammates.
Exactly.
When
he saw Burke burnt us. I mean, might as well get the Burke burning.
Yeah.
Tribe on the Knicks.
Alec Burks. Okay.
All right. So the next one I got, this would be easily the most amusing one.
And I can't stand this dude, man.
Oh, who can? I mean,
I
the guy
cannot stand this dude, man.
My garbage man or sanitation worker who's been on his route for the last 20 years has a better body than this.
Oh my God, this bum Jared Dudley, folks.
Hold that L.
So send him to Phoenix for Jared Dudley. Phoenix has made no bones about the fact that again they're trying to make a playoff push this year. Jared Dudley's an expiring contract.
Oh my God, this dude.
You know, I mean, obviously with Cantor here, they would waive Dudley immediately.
Yeah.
But again, try to get a second round pick from Phoenix, a future second rounder. And just a note, I keep throwing this out there, you know, future second rounders. If there's any team dumb enough to give you a second round pick in either the 2021 draft or the 2022 draft, the teams have to be all over those because those are the years. It'll either be in 21 or 22. When high school players are going to be allowed to jump straight to the court.
Okay, yeah. Good point.
In those years, a second round pick, even not a great second round pick, is going to have the value of a pick maybe 10 to 15 spots higher in a normal draft.
Right.
So if they could get their hands on another pick from one of those years, that would be great.
Yeah, it could definitely increase the pool. And I know I see a lot of people in chat like, no way, I don't want Jared Dudley. Remember, this is a salary dump. We're not looking to play. Yeah, we're not looking to play Jared Dudley.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Although it would be interesting to put his locker next to Cannon's locker and just see how that plays out. But we're not looking to trade. We're not looking to keep Shump or keep Jared Dudley. These are just salary dumps to get us in a better position for 2019 to sign free agents. So
except this last one. So the last one that we have, we'll get to that, is I don't know if they would necessarily waive this guy because this guy can play a little bit. And that's
Terrence Ross.
Orlando. And the reason I think that the Magic would consider that, even though they probably are maybe looking to play in the free agent market next summer, even though I don't know if that's going to be possible with their cap situation. But you never know. Things could change. Because Courtney Lee played for Steve Clifford, Orlando's new head coach, down in Charlotte. And Steve Clifford has gone on record as saying that he really, really likes what Courtney Lee brings to the table. He's got a young team there. Doesn't really, right now you could say that either Jonathan Simmons or Terrence Ross is going to be their starting shooting guard. Maybe he thinks Courtney Lee would be a little bit better fit. Ross's contract expires. The salaries would work. I have a feeling if we propose that trade, that Orlando would be the one asking New York for the second round pick to throw in, which I would not do at this point yet. And again, if you believe what you hear, teams have called about Courtney Lee. So I don't think that there is no market for him. I think it's just a very tight market. So, but it's just, you're going to have to accept that it's essentially going to be a salary dump. If you could get a second round pick back in the deal, that's what it's going to be.
I'm hoping we're going to actually be able to move him before the actual training camp and the season starts.
I think that's going to be awkward. I'd be very surprised if he opened camp with the Knicks.
Yeah, I would definitely like to see Dotson get those minutes for sure.
Absolutely. And by the way, if you picked up on something Fizz said 2 days ago when he was interviewed, or Dotson actually said that Fizz told him he wanted him to put up 4 or 5 threes a game. So if he's putting 4 or 5 threes a game, that means he's planning on playing David Dotson a good 20-25 minutes.
I'm waiting, man. I'm waiting for Dotson to explode, man. Yeah. I'm waiting for him to have that same confidence he had in G League last season that he had and bring that to the NBA. I'm waiting.
Couple people in the chat, and salute to the chat. Jason M, Richard Rowe in particular, asking about what about the Manimal? What about Kenneth Faried? How could we make a Kenneth Faried for Lee trade happen?
I think Denver is looking to cut salary. Unfortunately, they're still, even after the Wilson Chandler trade, they're still over the tax line.
Yeah, so they don't want to add that extra year.
Shut up, my dog Mike. Where he at? There you go, right there. Hey, he don't know I'm about to steal his phone, though.